Jim, can I bug you for 1 sec?
Oh, sure.
I have a process improvement suggestion.
Go ahead, shoot.
These performance reports we use during our monthly one-on-ones,
Right.
they contain way too much information. This is a waste of paper. Can't we just ask IT if they can provide summary information, or maybe combine 3 measurements onto 1 page?
Oh, here's John, the IT guy. Let's ask him if it's doable.
Everything is doable. What can I do for you?
Can I show you a change we'd like to make to these performance reports?
Sure. I have a meeting in about 10 minutes.
That's fine, this will just take a second. We give these stats to our employees each month, and then we go over them during our one-on-ones.
Define one-on-one?
A one-on-one is a monthly informal performance evaluation we have with each of our direct reports.
I also have them with each of the managers that report to me.
Okay, go on.
The only numbers we have are the summary figures. We go over 6 performance measurements. Each report contains 5 pages of detail and 2 lines of summary. That's over 30 pages of useless data for each employee. All we really need is the summary.
Yeah, if you could just give us the summary data without the detail, that would be perfect.
Perfect.
Sounds doable.
Okay.
I can let you know in an hour.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Can I take these with me?
Sure, go ahead. Thanks. I know.
I have an answer. The answer is yes to your report, and your next batch will be as requested.
Thank you.
You know, I'm a little curious about these monthly meetings you're having.
You mean the one-on-ones?
Yeah.
Hands down the best management tool I have in the toolbox.
When you're meeting one-on-one with an employee to discuss performance, they always know where they stand. That way, when they go to read their formal review, there's no surprises.
If they need improvement in an area, the one-on-one is a neutral meeting where I can coach and correct without employees feeling like they're being called into the principal's office. And if they're doing well in an area, you have the perfect opportunity to praise the employee.
How often do you drive home and you think about all the praise that the team members deserve? You think about maybe sending them a note or just telling them what a good job they're doing, how much you appreciate their work? But the minute you walk through that door, you get sucked into the in basket, or you get detained by a couple of knuckleheads like us, and the next thing you know, you're driving home again and the cycle repeats itself.
Yeah, too often we're too busy to make daily rounds and give out the necessary job well dones as often as we were taught in management class. There's just not enough hours in the day, it seems. That's why I love one-on-one meetings. They create opportunities where I can give praise where praise is due.
When Jim asked me to start doing regular one-on-ones, I totally freaked out. But, you know, at the time I was in the doghouse for some numbers that my team had pulled, so for me it was a do or be fired thing.
Linda, your team's defect ratio is making our whole department fall below standards.
So what do we need to do?
Well, I need you to meet with each person on your team one-on-one each month for the next 6 months. You need to work with them individually. I need you to act as coach and cheerleader. I'm going to be doing the same thing with you, and we'll be meeting each month so we can help your team numbers come up. Robert and I are going to be also doing the same thing each month, so there's going to be coaching and cheerleading going on all over the place.
I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this. I'm just really sorry I put you in the hot seat, sir.
Hey, it's not just me in the hot seat. We're both in the hot seat. After 6 months, her team's defect ratio was the second best in the department. The team was transformed.
Morale skyrocketed. It was the surprise side effect. That was a year ago, and Jim and I still meet each month, and I meet with my direct reports each month. Jim meets with the people who report to him, and Jim and Robin still meet each month.
Yeah, too much good was coming out of the one-on-ones to stop them just because the heat was off.
Well, what do you talk about now that the heat is off?
Same stuff, coaching and cheerleading. The job never ends. There's always room for improvement, and there's always some praise that's earned.
The monthly meeting is what works best for us, but it's not law. You could do them maybe bi-monthly or even quarterly. The important thing is that the employee gets several performance reviews before they get their formal review.
Oh, and speaking of formal reviews, if you're looking for that what's in it for me factor, here's one. Have you ever sat down to write a formal review and the stats were giving you one rating, but your observations were giving you another? When sitting down to write the formal review, wouldn't it be great to have a log of objective observations to complement those hard stats?
If you do the one-on-ones right, when it comes time for the formal review, you have all your stats lined up. You can write about progressive improvements, and you have the ability to be highly objective because you have tons of content to back up your ratings. Let me give you an example. Last month, during a one-on-one, last month we received some complaints from the sales side about your lead sheets.
Did you get a chance to reformat those lead sheets the way they like?
Oh, yeah, I did. I actually created a new version with some of the suggested improvements. And Steve, the Florida rep, called and said that the new format was perfect. In fact, he's going to use it as a template for all of the op centers.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks.
I'm impressed. You've been published.
I also got this email thanking me for the work that I did at the convention.
Okay.
But I noticed you weren't copied on this, and you said to bring things like this to the one-on-ones so you could add it to my file.
Yeah, this is exactly what I've been...
That kind of stuff could easily get lost in a hallway conversation if you don't have a system set up for documenting it. A one-on-one makes documenting that kind of stuff easy and convenient.
Good stuff. Please keep going.
In one-on-ones, I can really tune into the employee's perspective on underlying problems that I can address. It gives the employee a chance to explain why he may have had a bad month statistically. And that in turn helps you out when your boss approaches you about your team's results. You know that same one-on-one that I was telling you about?
I'm happy with
Great,
it.
thanks.
Now, I did have one more thing to bring up.
Okay.
Now, I did notice that last month you were like our only bright spot.
Oh.
And I was just curious because you did really great, but the overall team was down like 15%.
Well, that's because we had a virus scare. You were at that sales convention in Fresno, but anyways, it took IT 2 days to fully restore and upgrade all of our computers and give the clear-all for us to resume normal operations.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I'm amazed that we weren't down even more with those lost days.
This tidbit of information sure helped me out at my one-on-one with Jim.
So, Linda, why were your numbers down so much last month?
During the virus scare 2 weeks ago, it took IT nearly 2 days to give us the all clear to resume normal operations. Under those circumstances, I think 85% is pretty good.
Hey, I have a meeting to get to, but can I take you to the lunch today? I think you have me convinced on the whys. I'm just a little, foggy on some of the hows.
Sure, I'll take a free lunch.
I'm up for free lunch.
Linda has some forms that we use for the one-on-ones. Could you email them to him?
Forms? I thought these things were informal meetings.
Well, think of it as formal, informal. You can tweak it any way you want.
That's cool. And for the coaching and cheerleading, can I borrow your pom-poms and coach's whistle?
I tell you what, since you gave us that report, I'll buy you your own set.
Thanks, guys. See you at lunch.
All right.
I sold on the fact that it's wise to meet with my direct reports each month to do an informal review. But how do I do them? What's the secret to your success?
Okay, the how, you ask. Well, after Jim saw the benefit in doing these one-on-ones, he decided to require all the managers to do them. So, I gave a presentation to all the managers in our